Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? You're like, oh, another daytime vlog. It is another daytime vlog, but it's actually Sunday, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I'm like really early on this vlog. It's 5:03 p.m. and I was sitting around the house. Alex and I took his mom out to brunch and had a really, really nice brunch. And then he was gonna take the plants that he bought for her over to her house. She was like really tired today. So she was like, well, I just wanna kind of hang out a little bit and whatever. So I was like, why don't you go hang out with your mom for a little bit? And then I'm gonna drive around and listen to my audiobook, which I can't get into at all. And so he was like, okay. So he went over there to hang out with his mom for just a little bit. And then he's gonna, come back home. So it was nice. We spent the afternoon with her and yeah, we had a good time at brunch. It was really fun. And then and he bought her these beautiful plants, hanging plants for her patio. And then I texted all of my moms today, all the people in my life that are moms, and wished them a happy Mother's Day. And that's been about my day. I kind of thought, because on the heels of yesterday, feeling kind of sad and stuff, I thought I would wake up today and be like, kind of sad about Mother's Day and my mom not being, but I don't feel that way at all, honestly. But when I was with my exes, there were, you know, I like to spend time with my mom alone too, not just always have, you know, my partner there with me. So that was why today I was like, you go spend some time with your mom. She loves to just spend time with you, you know, alone and stuff. She and I talked actually a lot at brunch. So, while Alex was like, just kind of sitting there listening, waking up. We were both kind of waking up. Because you guys aren't very talkative during the day. I'm like, no, because we're just waking up for brunch. It wasn't super busy either at Cafe. We took her to Cafe Patashu, and it wasn't super busy. And I had the gluten-free waffle with crispy potatoes. And I actually got a piece of coconut cake and I to bring home. Then Alex got they don't have the turkey chili anymore. They have white chicken chili. So we got a bowl of that. Or no. He got a bowl of the tomato artichoke soup with croutons, and then he got the Cuban breakfast. What did she get? Oh, she got the Patashu chicken salad, and it came on like arugula, and then it had like a chocolate muffin on the side, and then like a bowl of strawberries. Oh, these strawberries were so good. And then I had blueberry coffee, and Alex had regular coffee. And oh, I had a glass of orange juice too, a large orange juice. And she had a mimosa. So it was fun. We had a really good time. She looked so pretty. So anyway, I was sitting at home, and I was just kind of sitting. I made the bed like really nice, and was spraying it with like the linen spray, and then I was spraying with the room spray that I had bought that like was supposed to smell like the Cosmopolitan. And I had texted Tanya, but Tanya's going to do a bunch of stuff with her son. So I was kind of like, what to do? So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go and vlog a little bit, listen to my book for a little bit. Vlog a little bit, listen to my book a little bit. And then I am going to try, there's no way I'll get the book done tonight. I still have 4 hours left of it. But between today and tomorrow, I'm going to try to finish this book. Because I have so many books downloaded on Audible that I want to listen to, that I have got to finish this book. I will say last night when I was listening to it after I was vlogging, it started getting a little bit better. It's called Rush of Blood, if anybody wants to look into it. It reminds me, I don't know if anybody read The Dinner. They made it into a movie, and actually the author left the movie theater at the premiere because he said it was so bad. But the book was fantastic. I read it years ago. It won like the Man Booker Prize or something, I think, or was nominated for it. And it was about these two couples. I think the husbands were brothers or something. I can't remember. And it took place in England. It was fictional. And their sons, who were friends, had like committed some act of violence, but you didn't know what it was like throughout the whole book. And so the dinner kind of like increasingly got more awkward, and like until it climaxed at the end, and then it was like these two dads kind of going through each other, but it was done to the course of this dinner. So it was like, the book was like split up, like appetizers and salads or whatever, like main course, dessert. And so the book was split up that way. And as it was like kind of building to a crescendo, it was done so well. And I really didn't think I was going to like it. It was by Herman, K-O-C-H. You pronounce that however you want to pronounce that. Coach, the other way, I don't know. So anyway, family friendly, but he, oh, unbelievable writer. And it was such a tense book to I think I tried to watch the movie, because you don't even really, when you're reading the book, really understand. I don't want to ruin it for you. You think the violent act is gonna be something that it's not. Like they make you think it's gonna be one thing, and it's actually something completely different. And so the whole conversation at dinner is like, what are we gonna do, like, about this whole situation? And then the son is like calling the whole time too, so like wanting to know, like, anyway, like if he's gonna tell, like, because the dad, I think at the beginning, the one dad finds out, because there's video footage of it, like on the phone, like one of them recorded it happening, and so he's like, I like so bad want to say what it is. You wouldn't really think of it going into it, because they make you think it's one thing and it's something completely different. And but anyway, it was a really good book. So this reminds me of that, because it's about these three couples that are all from London or around London, and they meet in Sarasota, Florida when they're on vacation at this resort. And the last day that they're there, this girl, she goes missing. And so it goes back and forth between this dinner that the one woman is planning, and that takes place like all in the same day, like all these couples coming over to dinner, and you can kind of sense their animosity, and like it brings up their issues. So you find out about them after the trip, if that makes sense, and they're all coming together for this dinner. But then it flashes back to like them meeting, and them like hanging out and going to restaurants, them interacting with this girl and her mom. But then it also has like present time pieces where the police investigator is like talking to the mom and all this kind of stuff. And so you're assuming as you're reading the book that somebody from one of these three couples had something to do with this girl going missing. It's actually brilliantly done. It's just very slow, and I think that's the problem. If I had like read it a lot faster or got more into it, because last night it started getting a little bit more interesting, which I knew would happen as I'm starting to kind of figure out, okay, like this is what's going on, like it's making more sense. It's so funny, Bonefish Grill, they go to Bonefish, because they go to Bonefish, I just passed Bonefish Grill, which I think I've only ever, if I've ever been to Bonefish Grill, I've only been there once, but my mom loved it, because my mom loved like a good piece of fish. And so my aunt would always take her there for like birthdays and stuff. I didn't like Bonefish. I think I've only been there once, if even then. And I kind of see myself walking in, and I was like late to like a birthday dinner or something. But anyway, imagine that, me being late to a birthday dinner. Although I've been really working on being on time lately, and I've been pretty much on time, I would say. I think that if I were being graded on being on time, and A was like perfectly on time, or a few minutes early, I say I would get a B+ these days. So I'll take that. So yeah, I'm a little bit more into that book, but I've got 4 hours left of the book, and I want to finish it today or tomorrow. I want to get it done, and so I can go on to read some other stuff. I have a feeling, this is so weird, I don't know why, but I have a feeling at the end, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I love this book. What is this billboard up here for these beautiful flowers? For wherever needs more wow. Lowe's. Oh. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Somebody's texting me. So I wanted to get more. I'm out of the Meadow linen spray. I like used the last of it today. Well, I was out of it, so I used the one that's called Rattan. So I was thinking about going to Target and seeing. I did not order that comforter yet, so I'm going to see if they have that comforter. If they do, I'll just get it. And then also buying some of that linen spray and room spray, because I love that Meadow linen and room spray. All the moms at Cafe Pas de Choux looked so pretty today. They were all dressed up and looked so nice. Alex's mom was telling us that, so Alex is the oldest of 3, but when she got married to Alex's dad, he wanted 12 kids. and she was totally fine with that, she said. And she said she had Alex, and then she got pregnant like right away, and 18 months later, or whatever that would be, however soon she got pregnant, she had Carlos. And then after that, Alex's dad was like, this is a lot. 2 boys really early on in our marriage. Maybe we should like wait a while. So, Fufu Juan Carlos came a lot later. Who was texting me? Oh, my friend texted me and said, thank you for Happy Mother's Day. So yeah, that was Alex texting me too. I have a feeling that that's what I was gonna say. Did I say this already? That I'm gonna end up really liking this book when I'm done. Like, I think I'm gonna be like, at the end, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, I really like this book. I don't know, we'll see. This is my blueberry coffee from Pas de Choux. The first cup that I got there, I like put 2 raw sugars in it and cream, and I ruined it. I couldn't even taste. I don't usually put cream in coffee. I don't know why I was feeling it today, except they had it on this little plate and it looked so pretty and stuff. So I put some cream in my coffee and it just ruined it. It took all the taste out of it. But this one has like, I put 2 Splenda in it, I think, or whatever the little yellow packets are. And I can even smell it from right here. It's like you can smell the blueberry. I love blueberry and blueberry crumble coffee. You know what? I should get some of them at Target. Some of those Keurig cups. I love, love, love blueberry coffee. I don't know why that's my favorite. About 2 years ago, 3 years ago at Cafe Pas de Choux, they started, like, that was one of, well, they still don't have their coffee bar, so they'll tell you what kind of coffee they have and then they bring it out to you. They used to have a coffee bar where you just went over there and you picked one. They had like this coffee dispenser things, and then they had like 5 different kinds of coffee. They had like regular, and then a flavor, and then a flavored decaf, and then they had the Pas de Choux blend, and then they had the Pas de Choux blend decaf. But they don't do that anymore. Now you just tell them what you want and they bring it out, because of COVID and all that. So, but they had blueberry a lot back in the day. They'd kind of mix it up. They'll have like blueberry, snickerdoodle, macadamia nut, different ones. But blueberry, or blueberry, it used to be called blueberry crumble, but they changed coffee companies since now it's just blueberry. Blueberry or blueberry crumble is like my fave. I love it so much. I don't know what it is. I also love blueberry muffins, which isn't that crazy. I like did my hair and everything today, and it's like, when I was in the restaurant, this one server that's in there that's a friend of ours, he was like, I didn't even recognize you without your hat. I feel like I have a haircut coming up, but I haven't gotten any emails about it, so confirmation emails. I was listening to the Smiths before I started vlogging, and thank you, I appreciate that. And I love the Smiths. And I mean, I have like so many of their songs downloaded, but like their famous ones and the ones I used to listen to, like I said this the other day, like Ask, Girlfriend in a Coma, Big Mouth Strikes. No, did I have Big Mouth Strikes again? I don't know. The boy with a thorn in his side. I think Ask and Girlfriend in a Coma and Asleep are like my 3 favorite Ask song, or Smith song. Oh, and Wonder. I Wonder. But, so I went in after watching that movie, Shoplifters of the World Unite, and I downloaded like a bunch of their music and was surprised at like how much of their music I knew. I mean, like I literally know like 80, maybe 90% of their music. I couldn't believe it. So I was listening to it for a little bit today, and I was listening to that song, Last Night I Dreamt That Somebody Loved Me. I forgot how sad their music is. Morrissey's like, last night I dreamt somebody loved me. And I'm like, oh my God, this music is so sad. This is making me, let's hear some Janet Jackson or something. This is making me some Madonna Vogue. This is making me so sad I can hardly even listen to this. I used to listen to that way back in the day. You know, and then the kids started talking about like emo. And emo was like, what's the band that I always think of when I think of emo that came, you know, all that music that was like super sad and they would call it emo and stuff like that. I'm like, I used to think, I don't relate to this at all, but there's one song, it's not Panic at the Disco, because I don't like Panic at the Disco. No offense, they're just not my thing. What's the one band? Oh God, I would have to go through all of my music. And I know, like, if I went through my music, it would literally be, like, in the W's or the Z's or something, right? Why can't I think of what the song is called that I love? Here, I'm gonna pull into the post office. I'm gonna look through some of my songs. I feel like it has, like, the word solitude or something in it. I have the heat on because it is 43 degrees outside. It was raining earlier, like spitting rain, and like then it started pouring down rain, and it was so cold outside. My neighbor that was walking by with her dog, she just said, "What is going on here? This is supposed to be May." I was like, "I know, it's freezing." So I don't know, like if I'm having the sniffles because I have a cold or if it's my allergies. I did not take my allergy medicine. You know what? I have one. I need to get some allergy medicine today too. Maybe I should go to the Meijer and Walmart. What is this song? Here it is. Last Night I Dreamt That Somebody Loved Me. That was just a mess. Okay. Well, I'm at the end, so let me see. Not the White Stripes, but I do love them. Whitney Houston, The Who, Willie Nelson. Guys, I have so much crazy music in here. Zach Brown Band, Zed, Four Non Blondes, 10,000 Maniacs, 1975. I love that band. What is this? Actually, my brother-in-law, Fufu, introduced me. Where am I at on time? Okay, let's go through here and see. You guys want to hear my music? Aha, ABBA, Adele, Afrojack, Steve Aoki, Alan Jackson, Alicia Keys, Amy Winehouse, Andrew Day, Andre Bocelli and his son, Matteo Bocelli, Andy Gibb. I'm just going through the ones I think you guys will know. The Archies, Aretha Franklin, Ariana Grande, Armin van Buuren, Asif Avidan, Avicii, Axwell and Grosso, Azalea Banks, B.B. King, The Bangles, Barbra Streisand, Bare Naked Ladies, Basement Jacks, Baje. I like that song. I don't know what that song is called. Find a Way. I like that song. I was actually judging a pageant and they played that song. It's like the final walk. Benny Benassi. Oh my God, I haven't listened to Benny Benassi in years. Bette Midler. Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. Beyonce. Billie Eilish. Billy Bragg and Wilco. Billy Currington. Billy Idol. Billy Joel. Billy Ocean. Billy Porter. Black Box, Black Crows, Blake Shelton, Blondie, Blue Oyster Cult, Bob Dylan, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Bobby Darin, Bon Iver, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I've got so many different music in here. Bonnie Raitt. I'm skimming a lot of these. Brad Paisley, because I don't think you guys would know who a lot of these people are. Britney Spears, Bruce Springsteen, Brian Ferry. The Byrds, Calvin Harris, Candace Glover. Do you remember her? She won American Idol. I love her. Carlos Botte, Carlos Gardel, He's actually a famous Argentinian singer that Alex's mom introduced me to. Carly Rae Jepsen, Carole King and James Taylor, The Carpenters, Carrie Underwood, Cat Stevens, The Cave Singers, Cedric Gervais, Celia Cruz, Charlie X, Charlie Daniels Band, Cher, Chicago, The Chicks, formerly, I guess they used to be the Dixie Chicks. They changed their name. God, I don't even know some of these bands. Clint Black, Cockatoo Twins, Colby Calais, Counting Crows, Cowboy Junkies. I love the Cowboy Junkies. Crystal Gale, Crystal Waters, The Cure, Cyndi Lauper, Daddy Yankee, Darius Rucker, Dave Matthews Band, David Allan Coe, David Bowie, David Guetta, Dead Milkman. Oh my God, I love the Death Cab for Cutie. That's who I was talking about. And the song is called I Will Follow You Into the Dark. I love that song. It's so good, but it's so sad. Diana Ross, Dido, Diane Word. I actually saw them live at Ultra and they were fantastic. Diplo, DJ Snake, DJ Kuba, DJ Antoine, Dolly Parton and Sia, Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn and Tammy Wynette, Don McLean, Don Omar, Donna Summer, Dua Lipa, Ed Sheeran, Ella Fitzgerald, Ellie Goulding, Emmylou Harris, Enrique Iglesias, Eric Church, Eric Clapton, Etta James, Eurythmics, Eva Cassidy, Eve. Oh, God, I love Eve. Evelyn Champagne King, the Everly Brothers, Faith Hill, Phineas, Felix John, Fleet Foxes, Fleetwood Mac, Flesh for Lulu, Florida Georgia Line, Frank Ocean, Frank Sinatra. Oh, you guys will love this. Gabby Hanna. Out Loud. I do like that song. I've said that in my videos before. Before people are like, oh my God! No, I've said it in my videos that I like that song. General Public. I'm so obsessed with General Public right now. And these are two songs that I knew in high school, but like I didn't really know real well. Tenderness and Never You Done That. And Never You Done That is probably like my favorite. And they play it on Sirius Radio all the time, but Tenderness, they played in an episode of Pose, and I totally forgot about that. Let's see. Oh my God, I went way down. Hold on a second. Oh my God, I went way up there. I was just gonna skim through some of these. George Strait, Gypsy Kings. Oh my God, the Glee cast. I have so many Glee songs on my phone. Gloria Gaynor, The Gorillaz, Grace Jones, Grateful Dead, Gretchen Wilson, Guns N' Roses, Heart, Heavy D and the Boys, Hole, Hot Chocolate, Imagine Dragons, Indigo Girls, Ingrid Michaelson. Our wedding song actually was Ingrid Michaelson, You and I. Do you guys know that song? That was our wedding song that we walked down the aisle to. Janet Jackson. How do I keep on okay, wait. Israel Komanyakia. Do you guys know who that guy is? He's passed away since, but he did the Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It was like the most beautiful version ever. Skrillex and Diplo and Jack U, Jackson Brown, Jake Bugg, Janet Jackson, Janice Ian, Janis Joplin, Jason Aldean, Jason Derulo, Jason Imraz, Jeff Buckley, Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Nettles, Jesus and Mary Chain, Joan Armatrading, John Anderson, John Coltrane, John Connolly, John Denver, John Lennon, John Mellencamp, Johnny Cash, Johnny Kemp. Okay, so this meeting doesn't exist anymore, so I'm not breaching anonymity, but when I first got sober, I went to a meeting on Friday nights, and it was called Just Got Paid, and it was based on the Johnny Price. Is that his name, Johnny Price? That's his name, isn't it? I think it's Johnny Kemp. Yeah. Didn't he do that song? Just Got Paid, yeah. Johnny Kemp did a song, Just Got Paid. Friday night. And it was such a fun meeting. I love that group. Or yeah, it was so fun. I don't know why it died, but Joseph Arthur, who is one of my favorite artists of life, Joy Division, who I absolutely love, they ended up becoming New Order. The Judds, Judy Collins, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, Cascade, all these people, Kate Bush, Kath Bloom, Kathy Mattea, Katy Perry, Keith Urban, Kelly Clarkson, Kenny Chesney, Kesha, Keisha Cole. Oh, that song, I remember. I love that song so much. Can, Kool and the Gang, Kreayshawn, Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. Kygo, Kylie Minogue, Lacey Jane Dalton. Oh, what's that song called? I love that song. I listened to it with my dad when I was a little kid. 16th Avenue. I love that song. Where am I on time? I'm trying to hurry through this, but I just thought this would be fun. Loretta Lynn. I'm like skipping literally. I'm like reading a name and then like skipping like 6 to 10, 5 to 10. The Lumineers, Luther Vandross, Macklemore, Ryan Lewis, Madeline Perot. I love her. Madonna, tons of Madonna. Manila Luzon from RuPaul's Drag Race. Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos, Mariah Carey, Marina and the Diamonds, Mark Ronson, Maroon 5, Martin Garrix, Mary Chapin Carpenter, Mary J. Blige, Matt Kearney, Matt Dusk. Matt Dusk was the lounge singer on that show that they did about the hotel, the Golden Nugget in Vegas. Medina, Meghan Trainor, Melissa Etheridge, Michael Taylor, Michelle Taylor. He's from Brazil. I love him. Michelle Shocked, who sang the song Anchorage, which is like one of my all-time favorite songs. Okay. Mike Candies, Miley Cyrus, Milk and Sugar, Miranda Lambert, The Moldy Peaches, Morrissey, The Mountain Goats, Mumford & Sons, Nancy Griffith, Nashville Cast, Natalie Cole, Natalie Merchant, Natalie Walker, The National, Neil Young, let's see, New Order, The New Pornographers, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Nicki Minaj, Nico, a Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Noah Reid. Do you know who he is? He's Patrick from, he's such a great singer. This is, Simply the Best. Yep. He's from, Schitt's Creek. He played Patrick. Of Monsters and Men, Old Crow Medicine Show, Olivia Newton-John, let's see, One Republic. Okay, I missed some. Did I say Olivia Newton-John? One Direction, One Republic, original Broadway cast of Annie. Original Broadway cast recording Bubble and Brown Sugar. Oh, okay. This is one of my favorite songs ever. It is His Eyes on the Sparrow, and it goes into like a swing version of Amazing Grace, and it's fantastic. Let's see. Pink, Pat Benatar, Patti LaBelle, Patti Loveless, Paul Simon, Graceland, probably one of my favorite albums of life. Pet Shop Boys, Pete Yorn, Peter, Paul and Mary, Julia Clark, Philip Phillips, Fish, Pink Floyd, Pitbull, Pixies, The Pogues, Poison, Pretenders, Prince, The Proclaimers, Proyecto Uno, The Psychedelic Furs, Public Image Limited, Pussycat Dolls, Queen, REM, Rachel Yamagata. I love her. They used to play her music on that show back in the day, the OC. That's how I found out her originally. Rascal Flats, Ray LaMontagne, Reba, I think I mispronounced his name, Reba McEntire, Ricky Skaggs, Rihanna, Richie Valens, Robin Hitchcock and the Egyptians, Rocky Vodolato, Rod Stewart, The Rolling Stones, Rufus Du Sol, RuPaul's Drag Race Live, Rusted Root, Sade, Sarah Bareilles, Sarah McLachlan, Scissor Sisters, The Script, Sebastian Ingrosso and Alessa, Selena, Shakira, Shawn Mendes, Shirley Bassey, Sia, Sigur Rós, Simon and Garfunkel, Sinead O'Connor, Susie and the Banshees, Sister Sledge, Skeeter Davis, Skrillex, Smashing Pumpkins, The Smiths, Sophie Tucker, Sonny and Cher, Sophie B. Hawkins, Stephanie Mills, The Spice Girls, Stephen Marley, Stevie Aoki, and Angre de Mas, Stephen Aoki and the Backstreet Boys, Stevie Nicks, Stevie Wonder, Stroke 9, where am I at? Okay, I got a minute. Swedish House Mafia, The Sundays, Takabro, Talking Heads, Tallest Man on Earth, Taylor Dane, Taylor Swift, Tegan and Sarah, The Thompson twins, Tiesto, and a bunch of people that I don't know. Tim McGraw, Tim Buck 3, Tina Turner, Toby Keith, Tom Petty, Tony Bennett and Katie Lang, Tracy Lawrence, Train, Travis Porter, Trisha Paytas, Trixie Mattel, Troye Sivan, Tuamo, Twin Shadow, Underworld, Vance Joy, Velvet Underground, The Wanted, The Waterboys, The Weeknd, We the Kings, Weezer, The White Stripes, Whitney Houston, The Who, Willie Nelson, and I think I've read all the other ones that go all the way down here. 10,000 Maniacs in 1975 is the last. It stopped! That's, well, you got a sampling of what's on my phone, okay? Of what's in my iTunes. I skipped about every, well, I read like every 5th or 6th one. So that's just a sampling of what's in my my phone, my iTunes. God. Can I just tell you one of my pet peeves is when you say to somebody, go ahead, and then they look at you and they go, no, you go ahead. And it's like, I should just peel out. I was trying to be nice and you wouldn't let me be nice. Anyway, did you hear that gas prices are about to go up because there was something that happened to one of the gas lines or something, the biggest gas line in the country or something? Yeah, I know when I filled my gas tank the other day, I don't remember when I filled it, but I'm between a half and a 3/4 tank. It was like $2.93 a gallon, which I thought was expensive then to fill it. So let's see what the gas is up here, but I am gonna fill it because I did hear that it's going up like a lot. Can you imagine if gas ended up being like $5 a gallon? Do you think if gas went up and was like $5 to $10 a gallon, that people would stop going places as much, or they would start carpooling more and whatever? You would think that people would have to, you know? I can tell you my vlog game would change. We'd be doing a lot of driveway vlogs. I wouldn't be vlogging, driving around, because people are always like, you waste so much gas driving around. I really don't. Like, I know it seems like I do, because I'm driving around, but I'm like driving on side streets, first of all. So, like, yeah, probably more, I'm, you know, having to spend more on gas than the average person, but, you know, most people that drive to work or drive, you know, take their kids places and stuff like that, it's probably not a whole lot different if you think about, you know, a half an hour to work and a half an hour home. It's the same thing as me vlogging. Now I'm coming up on a gas station over here, so let's see what the... It is so hot in here. What do I have the heat turned up to? 72 or 74. Now I turn it down to 72. I don't know what time Target is open until on Sundays. I hope they don't close at 6 because it's like 5:35. There's no sign out here for the gas. Oh, but there's like people getting their gas. Okay. What does it say? $2.89. It's cheaper than what I got it the other day. So maybe that's not true. I don't know. Or maybe it hasn't gone up yet. Dream. That woman straight up. Never mind. She just was like turning the corner and she was like, you know, pick a winner. And she like turned and she was like this. When she like drove by, like imagine like you're my window, you know, like right there. She's like this. As she turned the corner. I mean, I'm not saying that most of us don't pick our nose from time to time, but don't most of us kind of like try to do it discreet? You know what I mean? When I was a kid, my mom had all these dumb things that she said, and like, you know, when you're a kid and you like pick your pants out of your butt, you know, my mom would go, "Are you picking your seat for the movies?" I'd be like, "Mom!" Or I'd say, "Mom, I'm thirsty," and she'd say, "It's nice to meet you, Thursday, I'm Friday." I'd be like, "Mom!" She always had all this silly stuff she said. Talked to Caroline today. she was laying on the couch watching some movie that I'd never heard of before, and she had actually just started a new book. She's like, did you recommend this? She's so funny. She's like, I think her memory is like a day. She doesn't remember anything. She's like, she texted it to me earlier. She was like, did you recommend this book to me? It's called The Meltdown or something like that, Breakdown, and it's by B.A. Paris that wrote Behind Closed Doors, which was fantastic, right? And I was like, no, I've never heard of that book before. And I was like, is it good? And she said, yeah, so far. So I was like, I might have to buy it. But I did just buy a bunch of books on Audible. Because, see, I can't get through this book, so then it excites me. Because I'm like, well, if I can't get through this book, then I'll just get excited about the next books that I'm going to read when I finally do finish this book. You guys, I just have to tell you that this new Humane Society, they have a picture of this kitten on the side, okay? I don't know why, but like every time I drive by here, which is like every night to vlog, I just imagine that kitten, it's like just literally like a life-size kitten standing in the window. I don't know why. It's just like I look at it, I'm like, hi kitten, how are you? Oh man. Boo and Tucker were so sweet this morning. Boo Radley was all like in a little circle, and Alex took them out and it was raining, and they came in. I was like, why is Boo Radley so wet? And Alex said, because it was raining and he's running around out in the rain. See, Tucker won't go out in the rain. He'll go like he'll go potty like right by the door where he doesn't get wet, but Boo Radley doesn't care. He'll go run out. He's an adventurer. He'll go run out in the rain and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, well, have fun, Boo Radley. Now tonight, since I'll have my vlog done early, which is crazy, I could just go to bed early. I actually got pretty good sleep last night. I feel pretty awake, which is strange. I don't know, like I almost feel like I sleep better when I go to bed and then I get up to vlog and then I go back to bed. Like I almost feel like I sleep better, because like right now I'm like awake. Like I feel like I could run a marathon right now. I mean, like let's not joke, but you know, I do though. I feel like really awake, you know? Whereas like sometimes when I go to bed early and I get like a full like 9 hours of sleep or whatever, I feel lethargic when I get, almost like I've slept too much. You know, I was reading this reading chart. I was reading this chart that was about how much sleep you need. And it was really interesting because it was looking at people that are like 65. Well, it was all age groups, right? But I was looking at my age group. And I think it's something like 35 to 65 or something like that needs like 7 to 9 hours of sleep, right? But do you know that the older you get, the less sleep you need? Like on this chart, it said something like 4 to 6 hours for people that are like over like 70 or something. And then it was like, but they should aim at 6 hours. And I was like, 4 hours of sleep a night? You're literally up 20 hours. I mean, I'm sure there's some of you out there that are like this. I mean, not, you know, 70. I mean, I would love to know if I have some 70, 80-year-olds out there. That would make me so happy. But like my dad, I mean, he goes to bed. So my dad is probably asleep, and he goes to bed early. He's 81, but he always has. This is not like an 80-year-old thing. This is, I mean, this is, will my dad be 80 this year, or will he be 81? He'll be 81 this year, because he's on the year. He's born on the year. So he's 80 right now. But he's always gone to bed super early. Like my dad is in bed by like 8 o'clock every night. And he gets up about 5 o'clock, if not earlier than that, 4:30, 5 I would say. So what is that? I'm horrible at math. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11, 12. So he's getting like 9 hours of sleep at night. But yeah, I was really surprised. I had this friend of mine that I used to work with when I worked in treatment, and I remember saying something, asking him one time like how much, we were talking about sleep, and he was like, yeah, I only need like 5 hours, 5, 6 hours, 6 like max, 5 or 6 hours of sleep at night. And I'm like, are you serious? I don't remember, I really, to be honest with you, like I do not remember what time I went to bed when I was working in treatment and had to be at work at 8 o'clock. Well, when I first started there, I some days worked 7, because I either worked 7 to 3 or 8 to 4. And then I switched and I was second shift, which was 3 to 11 or 4 to 12. And then that was after that I got my master's degree and stuff like that. And then I had like a daytime shift, you know, like 8 to 4:30. So let's just say like the 8 to 4:30 shift when I had it, like I must have left the house because I stopped and got coffee and a newspaper and everything on the way to work. And that would have been, I would have had to have left at like 7:30, which means maybe I would have got up at 7 and taken a shower. My clothes were already ironed. I was just telling somebody this the other day. On Sundays, I used to love to like have all my clothes for the week, and I would like iron them. Like I had the ironing board set up by the kitchen, right outside the kitchen, and we would watch a movie and I would like iron my pants. And I did this with both boyfriends for the last, whatever, for as long as I worked there. But and I would iron my little khakis, and I used to always wear Birkenstock clogs. For a long time I had these Skechers clogs that I would wear. That car's like brakes. Anyway, and then I would wear little polo shirts. I mean, not always like Polo brand, but I wore, do you know what I used to wear a lot of were those like, this brand used to be popular for a while, that Kangol brand, Kangal, that has like the kangaroo on it, you know what I'm talking about? And they made the hats and stuff. The guy from Pulp Fiction, he used to always wear those hats. I can't think of his name now. But they made the best polo shirts. I can't remember where I got them. I feel like I got them at like Burlington Coat Factory. But I had them in like every color. I had them in like purple and blue and white and all this kind of stuff. So I would wear those, but my polo shirts were always ironed. And I had like a faux hawk that I wore in my hair. This was all really short. I mean, I was thin at that time. I mean, I was probably 150, 160. And I had little round rim glasses that I wore. I still have those. But I would have all my clothes ready for the week. So I knew like I'd just go in and be like whatever polo shirt I wanted to wear that day, and whatever, and a pair of khakis, I would just pick it. But like before the week started, I mean, if not, I always went in and ironed like the next 2 days or something. You know, if I was like running behind or whatever, I would go in and I would like iron 2 pairs of pants and 2 polo shirts or whatever. But I was always like the morning when I got up, I was like, I wasn't ironing in any clothes in the morning. Let's just put it that way. And often I made a pot of coffee in the morning tw. But I also remember making a pot of coffee when I got to work, if it wasn't already made. I was the one that made the coffee a lot. I worked with a lot of coffee drinkers. So, yeah, I must have left at 7:30, which means I must have gotten up at 7. I worked 8 to 4:30, yeah. Which means I must have gotten up at 7, taken a shower real quick. I always took a shower before I went to work in the morning. I've always had that hair that like, if I don't, like Alex has curly hair and he like wears these pins sometimes when he sleeps at night. So like he can get up in the morning, he can take a shower late at night and then get up in the morning and like just fix his hair and it's fine. Like I cannot do that. If I do that, you've all seen Darlene Jolene Joe. I mean, that's from like an hour and a half nap. Can you imagine me sleeping a whole night? I have to wear a hat or do my hair. So, or, you know, take a shower and do my hair and wash it and condition it. So, I mean, you don't have to, you know, what did my ex used to always say? You don't have to wash your hair every day, but you should condition your hair every day. He was a hairstylist. He is a hairstylist. Maybe that was just for color, because I used to color my hair forever. But anyway, oh, look at those lights over there. Those twinkle lights are so pretty. I totally went this way and was like, let's just, fingers crossed, hope that Target is still open later. It's now 5:46, almost quarter till, well, it is past a quarter till 6. So if they close at 6, I guess I'm SHI toot out of luck, so. But I feel like we went to bed between like 12 and 1, you know, maybe depending on the day. And I do know that like Thursdays was like family group, so I didn't have to go in until 10. So Wednesday nights I probably stayed up later. I don't remember what time I went. Isn't it the weirdest thing? I've always had a hard time falling asleep though. And I have to tell you what is the craziest thing. So I don't know if there's people out there that have a hard time falling asleep and your mind just spins. First of all, putting down the phone has really helped for me. when I do that. The other thing is, this has unbelievably helped me, and it's so crazy that, like, I mean, I've listened to like sounds before. Like, I had the apps on the phone, and I had the apps on my first iPad that I had way back when, where you could do like rain and like wind chimes, and you could pick the sounds to fall asleep to. But I was falling asleep with my headphones on because I didn't want to wake up Alex. But Alex, you know, in the last couple months was like, do you want to listen to that on the Alexa thing? So we do. And we listen to thunderstorms every night. You guys, that thunderstorm sounds, I am out like a light. Like a light. I mean, I am really like out like that quick. I don't know. What's that Dutch yellow over there? It looks like, I was like, it looks like flowers. And I was like, no, I think it's a truck. But yeah, I'm like really out so quick from those sounds. I think it's the strangest thing. I don't know what it does. I don't know if it puts me in like a lower level of like, not consciousness, but you know what I mean? Like, it's the weirdest thing. It really, really puts me to sleep quickly. Like, I am out. The other thing is, I used to always face our window when I would fall asleep, because I fall asleep better on my back or facing Alex. Because if you're looking at her bed, I'm on the right-hand side. And recently, I've turned and okay, so I fall asleep easiest if I'm on my back or facing Alex. But I turn and I'm on my stomach, then I'm on my side, and then I'm on my back, and it's a mess. So for a long time, I would sleep facing the window because I could feel the fan on my face and I liked it. But recently, I've been turning more towards Alex when I fall asleep. That might be part of it too. I don't know. You know, they say that you sleep, depending on, you know, like, I think it has something to do with how you were as an infant too. I love hearing those stories. I used to always ask my mom stories about like when, you know, she was pregnant with me, or like when I was born and what kind of baby I was and all that kind of stuff. So I was asking Alex's mom that stuff today. I was like, so who was the easiest pregnancy? And she was like, Alex. She was like, they were all three really easy. She said she felt like, she had low sugar a lot. I can't remember which pregnancy, but anyway, and that she had to keep like gum that had sugar in it. And but she said all three of them were really easy. She worked right up. She worked the day of with Alex and the day before with Carlos, and with Fufu, Juan Carlos. I think she said she worked until like a couple days before or something. Just crazy. Whenever I drive around and I see people talking to themselves, and I'm like, are they talking on Bluetooth? Or are they vloggers? Are they vloggers and I don't know it? Are they secret vloggers of the world? I was gonna do like 10 minutes and then listen to my audiobook, and then like 15 minutes and listen to my audiobook. And I've almost gone for an hour, so I think I'm just gonna finish the vlog and then listen to my audiobook. I need to pull in here to see what time Target closes. She was also telling me about, like, I just passed McDonald's. That's what made me think of it. Alex has told these stories before about his birthday parties when he was growing up. So Alex was 12 when he moved to the United States from Venezuela. And he used to have his birthday parties in McDonald's, right? And he was like, but they're not like McDonald's here. They're like super fancy McDonald's. And I mean, I've heard the story a bunch, but I love these stories. And so she was telling us tonight, she was like, she was asking Alex, like, you know, do you remember the birthday party? He's like, yeah. And she was like, it looked really nice, like Cafe Patachou. She was like, and it was like 2 stories. And he was like, yeah. He goes, do you still order your food at a counter? He was like, but the actual McDonald's were like really nice. Like, people didn't come to your table and serve you or anything like that, you know, but like, it wasn't like an upscale restaurant, but the inside was really nice. And they were like double deck. There were two floors, and he said they were really cool, really fun, like for kids and stuff. I think the one in Times Square is 2 floors, if I remember correctly. I did go there. I do remember that. I did go there, is what I said, in case you couldn't hear me. I don't remember what I got though, but I remember I was really hungry and everything in New York City was so expensive that I was like, we've got to go. I've only been in New York City one time. I've flown through there, but I've only been one time, and it just, you know, it's interesting because when I was growing up, I always thought that I would live in a big city like Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, something like that. And I'm just, and people, whenever I say this, people are like, well, what about Miami? Miami is a different kind of big city. I don't really know how to explain it, other than it kind of feels like Indianapolis to some degree. You have your like downtown area, but even like South Beach feels spread out. It even feels kind of like if you're in South Beach, there's not tons that's like high rise, other than like maybe a 10-story like hotel or something. It doesn't, this woman is riding my tail. It doesn't feel, it feels kind of spread out to me, you know, and there's a lot of like suburban areas around there and stuff. Our friend lives down there, and she was at Aventura Mall yesterday, and she put up on her Instagram that there was an active shooter in the mall. That is so scary. That's all I know about it. I just saw that she put it up there. That is so, she said she was safe, and then she put that up there, but that is so scary. But when we went to New York City, it was fascinating for me. So we went, my ex and I, because he had like this hair class that he was taking in New York. So we ended up staying at the W in Times Square, which was beautiful. And it was fun being there, but like he was busy every day. So I would just go get coffee and I would walk. We weren't there for very long. We were there for like 3 nights. It was during the Golden Globes. It was super freezing cold. It was like January. Because I remember we went and we ate at like a Bennigan's, or it was on Times Square. I don't know if it was a Houlihan's or what it was, something like that, in Times Square. And we both got cheeseburgers, fries, and Cokes, and it came to like $100. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So I'm probably not as cheap today as I was then, but I would still say this is ridiculous. $100 for 2 cheeseburgers, and fries, and 2 Cokes is ridiculous. So everything in New York City is unbelievably expensive. Everything. And Los Angeles is the same way. And you know what's interesting is that people always say Miami, but Miami, like, food is expensive in Miami and other stuff is, but that is, like, not everything is, like, super expensive that you would think, you know? Especially kind of, like, the further out you get, it's not that bad. And maybe that's the same thing with New York and Los Angeles, but I just thought, like, the food in New York and Los Angeles was just unbelievably expensive. And some places in Miami, but... So, it was so cold. I just put on my coat every day, and I would go. I was really into cinnamon dolce lattes at the time, and I would just go get, there's literally a Starbucks on like every corner in New York City. So I would have like 3 cinnamon dolce lattes, and I would just walk around, and I wanted to see all the stuff I wanted to see. I wanted to see Tiffany's, which is where they filmed, you know, the Breakfast at Tiffany's scene where Audrey Hepburn walks across there. I wanted to see the library, which is in the movie The Wiz, which is one of my favorite movies of life. And I also wanted to see, because have you ever seen The Wiz? Oh my God. I think I might like The Wiz better than I like The Wizard of Oz. And then so the library is in it, which where they find the lion. But it's also in that movie, The End of the World or whatever it's called, with Jake Gyllenhaal, and New York City freezes over and the boat's coming down, you know? Remember that? The ship is coming down the street towards the library. So I wanted to see the library. I wanted to see Central Park, which I did. And I wanted to see Ground Zero in Chinatown. So I went and I saw all those things. And then we went and we ate at that one restaurant. I don't remember what restaurant it was called. But it was where they filmed a Will Smith movie. For some reason, we were with like some people that he worked with, and they wanted to go see this. And then we went to some bar, and I remember a Coke, just a regular Coke or Diet Coke or whatever, was like $15. And I was like, this is ridiculous. It was some club. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of New York City. I have like, no, if I went back, we tried to get tickets to go see something, and it just, we couldn't. We did that, like, you know, where tickets go on sale at like 2 o'clock in Times Square, at that, like, that ticket place. We tried to do something there. I can't remember what we tried to see. But like I said, I'm not a big show person. I mean, I am a show person when it comes to like Vegas shows, but like Broadway shows, like music, like I think at the time it was like Cats, Lion King. I didn't really want to see any of that. I would today. I probably like would have more interest in it today, but back then I just was like, nah, I could care less. Just like those are not the show. I don't know how to explain it. Broadway shows, I'm just not like real. I mean, people just go crazy about the Hamilton. I have no desire to see Hamilton. I've no desire to see Rent. None. I actually rented the movie Rent. And I got my fountain pops and everything home, and I was ready to watch it. I was so excited. And I was sitting there on the couch, and I started it, and I was like, oh. And I called Tanya, and I said, I think I called Tanya. I can't remember who I called, but I called somebody. I was like, do they sing in this whole movie? She said, yeah, it's a rock opera. Oh, no. I can't do no rock opera. We're not doing this mess today. No, ma'am. And then I worked with this girl, and she had this boyfriend. I think, did I get it from, I can't remember if I got it from her or not, but she did have a boyfriend that sold, do you remember bootleg DVDs? I was obsessed with them. I know I shouldn't have been, but I was. And this girl that I worked with, her boyfriend sold them. So I was always like, can you get me this movie and this movie and this movie? So it was like, you know, going to the Blockbuster, you know, but of movies that weren't already out. Well, if you've ever seen, like, now today, you know, you shouldn't watch the bootlegs, but if you do, they're a little higher quality today, you know. We used to have that. This is so bad. We used to have, I mean, everybody had it, that Amazon stick, you know, that you could get like the movies at whatever. We don't do that anymore. You know why? Because we would sit there for 14 hours and wait for it to buffer. I remember this one time, this was the last time we used it. It was that movie with Blake Lively and the shark. And I wanted to see that movie so bad. And I remember we sat there and it just buffered. And I said, can you call your cousin and have him fix this thing? That was the last time that we ever used that. But now you can just buy movies as soon as they come out. Hell, listen, to pay $20 to sit at home and watch a movie and make your own ice or make your own popcorn and drinks and stuff like that, it's a lot cheaper than going to the movie theater. I'll pay it to rent it. I don't care or whatever. So, but she used to sell these bootlegs for her boyfriend. Now, bootlegs back then, you could get some good quality bootlegs, but most of them was somebody just holding a video camera in a movie theater, okay? So my ex and I wanted to see this movie, Passions of the Christ, so bad. I don't know why. It was like, so many people were talking about Passions of the Christ and how good it was and whatever with Mel Gibson. So I bought this bootleg from her. We got it home and we were sitting there watching it. I've told this on here before. We were sitting there watching it. And we're like 5-10 minutes into this movie. I mean, we have our sodas and our treats and everything. We were so excited about it. And we had no clue what was going on with this movie. I was like, do you know what's going on? He was like, no, I have no idea. They're speaking a language. I don't know what this language is. And I was like, it's kind of strange there's no subtitles or whatever, right? So I called her. And I said, oh my God, my battery is about to die. I said, girl, I'm confused. There's no subtitles in this movie and they're speaking like Latin or something, right? She's like, yeah. She's like, well, where he was sitting, he couldn't get the subtitles. Or something like that. And I go, what? She goes, don't you know the Bible? Don't you know your Bible? I go, what? And she's like, don't you know your Bible? Then you should know, you should be able to follow along with this story. I was like, oh, no. I probably still have some of those bootlegs down in my basement. I do though, I have everything down there. Except today, I have this picture that my mom and I took when I was a little kid. She hired like a photographer. I remember we went there and we both had black turtlenecks on and we're both kind of like sitting there with our heads side by side. And I wanted to put the picture up on Instagram and I cannot find, and it's framed and everything, and I cannot find it in the basement. I was like, I can find everything else down in this damn basement, but I can't find this picture of me and my mom that I wanted to post for Mother's Day. Oh well. I'll find it like 3 weeks from now and put like happy belated Mother's Day on there. I can't believe that my battery is about to die. And it's not even been an hour yet. And it's a freshly charged battery. Well, that's not true. This battery is from last night. I wonder if that's why it is. It's so weird. I need to buy new batteries or something, but the batteries are expensive. Batteries and memory cards are expensive, but Gotta have them, right? And I think that the next place for me to turn over, or to turn in, to change it, is like through this stoplight, and then, so I'm just gonna keep on vlogging until it stops, and then when I get over there, oh, do I even have another battery with me? Hell's bells, if I don't have another battery, I'm gonna be bitter! I do though. I hope this one is charged. I hope this one isn't one of my dead batteries. I have almost vlogged an hour, and it is just 6 o'clock. Can you even believe it? I am like on top of things today. Well, I didn't make any other videos because I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy Sunday and get prepared for tomorrow, get rejuvenated and renewed, and then on Monday I'll be like posting videos left and right. I'll be like, I'm ready to post some videos. You know, everybody asked me to review food on my food review channel, and I just went and reviewed food the last 2 days, and y'all. Okay, I'm back. I pulled into the gas station. I was gonna go the route that the route of a carrot. I was gonna go the other, do you say route or do you say route? I don't know what I say, route. I think I go back and forth sometimes. But anyway, I was gonna go the route that I usually go, but then I was like, oh, you're going to Target. So why don't you pull this way and go into the gas station? So I did and pulled into the Speedway. And I looked up, and Target actually closes at 10. So I have 4 hours to get there. I should read some comments. Sweet Caroline, bum bum bum. Let's see the comments on the vlog of love. My vlog for today is 1 hour and 8 minutes that I put up earlier. And it is ready to post. Christina said, I'm getting landscaping quotes now, and they are sky high. Consider the amount of sunlight or shade your shrubs will get when picking them. Good point. You know, I talked to my cousin Caroline today, and she actually didn't think $1,000 was a lot. And she said the other thing is that because of COVID, so many people now are spending like money on their yards and stuff like that this year, and that's why landscapers are so full. And Alex actually knows somebody's husband that does construction and building, and so he's gonna come out and look at our patio and see if he can do our patio. But Caroline was like, yeah, landscaping, like you can't, it's hard to get somebody and all this kind of stuff. So I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me why it's really hard to get somebody out. But I don't know. Oh, Amber commented. She said, first of all, a whole vlog on my comment. Oh, I love that. I'm fainting. Also, I fully agree. I think we often believe people need to be alone in grief, but I've learned that we need to be together in peace and love. If you are wondering if you should reach out to anyone, the answer is yes. And I totally agree with that, Amber. Okay, Haley said, yes, please watch Cruel Summer. First episode is a little confusing, but I've really been wanting to see how you like it. It's pretty good. Sophia said, Peter, you should check out Tell Me Your Secrets on Prime. It's so good. It's a mix of suspense mystery, and there's like a serial killer touch to it too. I just finished, and I can't wait for season 2. Okay, I'll check that out. If I screenshot it, I'll think that's a birthday shout out, because I have so many birthday shout outs in my phone. Monet said, hello, Peter. Monet, you're so good about commenting on every vlog. Well, I mean, a lot of you are, but she really does. She said, hello, Peter. There's nothing better than a good burger or a hot dog on a grill for me. I'm starting to read a book by an author that I haven't read before. I got my mom a tulip plant for Mother's Day, but it hasn't bloomed yet. I also got her a gift that I'm hoping she'll like. Oh, that's so sweet. Ben said, happy Mother's Day to all the Wolfpackers. Also, I want to thank all the single dads that have played a mom role as well. I agree with that. Thank you so much, Ben. 76 Scott Girl said, I love how much you love nature, fields, trees, flowers, etc. You would love visiting Scotland. You know, it's a new thing. I haven't always been like that. That's just like recently. I would say in the last year or two. Gina said, going to get my flowers and fern from my front porch for my Mother's Day gift. It's a bittersweet day. My mom has passed away. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Oh, I'm sorry, Gina. Somebody is going in here and like commenting a bunch on my Fox Hollow Farms video. Sandy gave me a bunch of advice. She said her father was in the landscaping business for 25 plus years and opened a plant nursery and ran for both 10 years. She gave me a bunch of advice, so thank you for that, Sandy. Virginia said, yes, sure, I'm watching Cruel Summer. I think it's really good. She's a Cruel Summer. I love that. Carrie said, I lived by a train station for 15 years and I love the sounds. When I moved, I couldn't sleep for a long time without it. Aww. Stacy gave blue hearts and love ya. Karen blue hearts. Elizabeth blue hearts. I'm just kind of skimming some of these. No Chia and Stacy, lots of hearts. Magic Me said, I'm living in Denmark and I'm from Norway. We eat a lot of meat. I don't know any vegetarians. I wonder if we don't eat more dairy than other people, though. We have an enzyme in our gut that breaks down lactose, so lactose intolerance practically doesn't exist here. Oh, that's interesting. She also said, I would love to live in a house with lots of land. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't garden if you held a gun to my head. I just let it go wild and live in the woods. Maybe get a big enough oven to fit a large turkey. Linda said, you love my place. I live in the middle of 15 acres. If I decide I need a flower or two, I put them in large pots. Nita said, never grow tired of the extra love yous. Melissa said, I really needed those I love yous. I love you too. You and Alex are the hashtag wolf pack. That's so sweet. Troy said, yes, he did the one more I love you. Thank you, Peter. You made my day like always. Oh, thank you, Troy. Okay, so Dave said, do you put out flowers for your mom on Mother's Day? I know some people that do that since their mom has passed. Just curious. No need to answer if you don't want to. Linda said, my family, since I was a kid, always goes to our family cemetery. We have a great lunch and place flowers on our family's grave. 20 to 21, canceled due to COVID. Here's to 2022. I don't have a problem answering that question. So here's the thing. So my friend whose mom passed a year and a half before my mom did, her mom's gravestone and my mom's gravestone are like 10 feet apart. Hers is literally the one right in front of my mom's, and my mom's I wanted under a tree, so it's under a tree. Here's the thing. My mom, like, we had this conversation, I don't even know how many times, okay? My mom really believed that she was a bag of soul. She's like, the minute I am gone, like, I am not part, that's a shell. I'm not part of that at all anymore. Like, that body is not me. And I don't want you attached to my body. I don't want you, whatever. She never said, like, don't go out to visit my gravestone or whatever, but we never really talked about the gravestone thing. And actually, a couple weeks after my mom had passed and we had the funeral and everything, I talked to one of my mom's good friends that did not come to the funeral. She told me they had an arrangement that they would not come to each other's funerals. And she said to me, but I wish I had been able to talk to you I couldn't get a hold of her, and I tried to call her and get a hold of her and I couldn't. And she said, I wish I had talked to you before because your mom wanted to be cremated and have her ashes spread on Beaver Island, Michigan. My mother never once did she ever say that to me. So if that's the case, I don't know anything about that. But anyway, my mom would always just say, like, she was such a believer in soul and spirit that she's like, that's like, that body and all that is not me. So I do go out to my mom's gravesite and put flowers. And I actually was gonna do it today, but like at the time that I was gonna go do it, which was right after brunch, it was like pouring down rain and it was cold. So I was thinking about maybe going over there. Lord. I was thinking about maybe going over there on my mom's, I don't celebrate her death date, but I thought about maybe going out there and putting some flowers, because my friend that, her gravestone is in front of mine. She lives in California now. So Tanya and I had talked about going out there and like me putting flowers on my mom's gravestone, and then also putting flowers on her mom's gravestone. The thing is, like, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but like, I don't feel anything when I go out there. Like, I feel more like driving around or sitting on the back porch or whatever. Like, I feel like my mom's presence is there. I don't feel anything sitting at the gravesite. I just don't feel anything. So I go out there out of respect every so often, because I pass it quite a bit. So, you know, I'll just drive in there and stop and walk over. But like, I'll stand there and I'll talk to her. But like, I literally don't feel anything. There was one time I went out there and it was really weird. It was within, I think, the first year that she passed or something, and there was like a deer out there, and that moment kind of felt spiritual. It just kind of like stood and looked at me, and then it like ran away. But I don't typically feel anything. So I do very private things in commemoration of my mom for her birthday and Mother's Day and things like that. I do things that I think would mean something to my mom, if that makes sense. And my mom hated, this is kind of funny, my mom hated the graveyard, the cemetery graveyard, we call it that, the cemetery that my grandma was buried in. And so she never wanted to go there. And actually in my mom's will, at the end of it, like where it says like, you know, implications or whatever of the will, when I finally did find the will, it said, please do not bury me at such and such cemetery. Like, she did not want anything to do with that cemetery. So we didn't really go out there a lot after my grandma died. For that reason, Caroline stopped by there one day and she thought I think if I went out there, I could find it like that. I don't think that I would need to have a map or anything. But Caroline went out there and they like gave her a map and showed her exactly where it was, and Caroline went and found our grandma's gravestone. I think I could find it on my own, honestly. I don't know why, because we did go out there a couple times when I was younger, but just not a lot. So I don't know. Maybe I would if I like grew up like having gone to do that more with people. Like my dad, when his dad died, like I remember going to the grave site for the funeral, but like I remember one other time when I was up there visiting my aunt as a kid, going with my grandma to the grave site, but other than that, I don't ever remember going to the grave site. With my grandma, my dad's mom, I don't remember, we haven't gone to the grave site since if he has, he hardly ever goes up to Fort Wayne, so if he has, I'm not aware of that, but I have not been to her grave site since she passed. My aunt and uncle are not buried in the cemetery, so I don't know, like I just don't feel anything when I go out there. And I think that my mom just wasn't a phony about shit like that. You know, she'd be like, if you get something out of going there, like if it means something to you and you feel connected to me, go. But if you don't, I don't want you to waste your time. That's what my mom would say to me. I mean, she just was really like, that's how it was for her. So I don't go out there very often unless I just happen to drive by there. And there's like actually like a little flower shop right by there, and there's also a grocery store. So if I'm by there, I usually go in and get flowers and take them out there. But no, I didn't go out there today, but I think I might go out there this week. I'm kind of feeling like, I don't know why this year, like I feel like I don't want to celebrate her life or anything. Like to me, I would rather celebrate. So years ago, I would rather celebrate her life than celebrate the day that she died. Years ago, and I have friends of mine that celebrate the death date and the birth date and all this stuff, and I think that's fantastic. I think people should do what they want to do with grieving, you know? But, like I used to work with this woman and she always took the death date off of her mom and she really, really celebrated, and it meant a lot to her, and I understood that, you know, like that's that. When I saw that Oprah years ago with Dr. Phil, and I think it was long before my mom passed away that I'd seen it, when the woman's daughter had been murdered, and she said, she was so focused on it, and Dr. Phil said, do you think instead of celebrating the one day that she died, that you could celebrate the 18 years that she was alive? And she looked at him and she said, I never thought of it that way. You know, and that's how I choose to live today, is I want to celebrate the life of my mother and take my mom had a lot of things about her that needed working on. I mean, you know, I think sometimes, you know, I have to be careful because I saint my mom a lot, I think, in talking about her in videos and stuff like that. But my mom had a lot of issues. And, but I want to, what was I saw something. Oh, it was on the RuPaul's Drag Race thing that I was watching. They were talking to Asia O'Hara, whose parents had both passed, and she said, I think the best way to honor your parents is by living the best life possible based on what they taught you, and being the best possible version of yourself that you can be. And I believe that, you know, to be true. And so I try to do that, and I try to improve myself and be the person, the son that my mom would want me to be, you know? So yeah. But for some reason this week, not necessarily today, was so dreary outside. My mom loved beautiful, pretty spring days. For some reason this year, I don't know why, but like coming up on her death date is like, it's like if you watch my vlog for a long time, do you guys remember a couple years ago? It was just like, I don't even remember what year it was. It wasn't my 25th, I think it was like my 24th or my 23rd, I don't know, sobriety birthday. But I was like, this year more than ever is like, I'm like thinking a lot about like the month or two before I got sober. Like I was kind of stuck in it. Like I've been really thinking about my mom's passing and leading up to it a lot lately. I don't know what that's about. I think part of it is that, you know, I'm going to be 49 in June. My mom was 51 when she got sober. I'm getting to the age that my mom was when she was sober, and I think it's like I'm entering that last period of her life, if that makes sense, like age-wise. And so I think to some degree, like I've been thinking a lot about that, you know? But if my mom were alive today, I can tell you she would definitely say from 51 to 64 was the best years of her life. She would say from the day that I got sober going forward, I cared less what people had to say. I lived for myself. I tried to be the best version of myself. I cleaned up the wreckage of my past. I tried to be a good person, and I lived a fun, purposeful life. And I think she, if that is an example for me to live, I think I've been thinking a lot about that, you know? I'm not like, I don't typically think of like, oh, I just miss my mom. Like, I do think that, you know, sometimes. But it goes into like, well, why am I missing my mom? Like, what could I learn from this? Like, I really like, I'm constantly in a state of inventory. I really am. And so, I don't know. So this is gonna sound silly, okay? But my mom loved a good piece of cake. So when I walked into Patashu today, and they always have cakes there, and I saw this big white cake, and I thought my mom would have just loved a piece of like a cup of coffee and just like a piece of a really good cake. And so when the waitress came, I said, what kind of coffee is that white cake, or what kind of cake is that coffee, what kind of cake is that white cake up there? And she said, it's coconut cake, which is not my favorite, okay? Although I said, is it good? She goes, oh my God, it's so good. So I got a piece of it to take home, and I'm just gonna sit down, you know, and put on one of my mom's favorite movies, or listen to some music, and just sit there and have a cup of coffee and eat the piece of cake. And just be present and think about my mom for a couple minutes, you know? And eat the cake because she can't. And dance to some music today because she can't. And smile and laugh and be present because she can't. And I think that's how my mom would want me to live. And I think about that a lot. I think a lot about, you know, I mean, you know, my dad and I have an open enough relationship that I can ask him questions like, how would you want me to live, you know, as your son, like if you weren't here anymore? My dad has always just been like, I want you to live your life based on the principles that I taught you, you know, and the morals that I gave you, you know, to be the best version of yourself and to try to continue to grow, and that nobody's perfect, you know, and you're gonna mess up, and that you got to take a look at it and see how you can grow as a human being. You know, that's all I've ever taught you, you know, is to be a better version of yourself tomorrow than you were today. And he said those things to me, you know. why I got real emotional talking about that. I haven't really felt that like emotional or sad today thinking about my mom. I mean, I miss her, but plants that I got yesterday are so pretty. They're just kind of like sitting down from the step on our patio, and they're just like so pretty. I'm so at the point where the company that cleans our, or that company that mows our lawn, that through the HOA, I think I'm just gonna call them tomorrow and see like, hey, can you guys come and clean up our yard? Like, how much would it cost for you just to like weed this out and, you know, mulch it? And I'm about ready just to pay them to do that, because I think they only charged us like $150 to do it a couple years ago, and it was like perfect. And then just forget the trees. And if I can get a landscaper, have a landscaper, that when I finally find somebody that can come out and do it, then there's not a, like, I'm not like, because right now I feel like rushed to get it done, like, you know, have to have it done by June 1st kind of thing. And I don't want to be in a rush, so then that way I have the summer, and if I find somebody, you know, which inevitably, as many people as I talk to, somebody will be like, oh yeah, like I own a landscaping firm, so if you ever need anything, I'll be like, perfect, can you come out? But the guy that came out and gave us an estimate didn't even text me back or anything. I said, why don't you text me with like, you know, some, you know, prices of shrubs and bushes and things and whatever, like, you know, later, and then we can figure out where we want to go going. I didn't say no to him. I mean, we just kind of acted like, okay, well, we'll let you know what we think, and text us the number of some bushes and stuff. Like, I mean, I was like, I feel like for a one-man job for $1,000, like you would think you'd want that job bad enough that you might be like, you know, I don't know, Googling the prices of bushes at Costco or something. But I haven't heard from him, so maybe he doesn't want the job, I don't know. Maybe there's so many jobs today that they can pick and choose from. I have a feeling that's kind of part of it as well, you know. The thing is, last summer, Alex sprayed. Like, he kept on buying the stuff from Amazon and having it, like, Amazon Prime to our house. And so, like, he sprayed it the whole summer. So we didn't, like, after we cleaned it once, like, it was fine. So I don't know that, like, because he was like, well, I'll have to keep on coming out and spraying it. And I was like, well, I was thinking maybe once every 6 weeks you come out and remulch it. I don't know. I don't know. Figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. I'm excited about going into Target and looking around for a little bit. I have a screenshot of that comforter because for the life of me, I cannot remember what the name of that comforter is. Like, if it was a multiple choice question right now, I definitely can answer it because I know it. But like, if you said, okay, you have to come up with the name of this, I'm like, is it start with a TR? Is it Reginald? Is it Trimark? I don't know what it is called. I can't remember for the life of me. It's something like that. Something. But if I saw it in a multiple choice question, I would know it. But I just can't think of it right now. So, well, listen, you guys, I have vlogged for almost, oh my God, almost an hour and 25 minutes, almost. Hour and 22 minutes, something like that. So I'm gonna get off here now. Early vlog done, I can't believe it. And I'm gonna go to Target and maybe Meijer, depending on how motivated I feel when I leave Target. And then I'm gonna drive around, listen to my audiobook for a little bit, and then, yeah, I'm gonna go home. So anyway, I hope you guys had an amazing, a magically amazing Mother's Day. If you're celebrating Mother's Day. If not, I hope you had a magically amazing Sunday. And I love you guys so much. And I will see you tomorrow. I love you. Oh, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Bye. Love you. And for everybody that wants to hear it, one more. This one goes out to Karen. One more, I love you. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.